Well, good afternoon and welcome. Certainly an exciting day here at ULM. Anytime we get to introduce a new coach, it's certainly a great day to be a Warhawk, and today is no different than any of those other days that we've had recently, and we're certainly excited to introduce Ford Pemberton here this afternoon. You'll also hear from Director of Athletics John Hartwell, but to get us started this afternoon, by the way, I'm Mike Hammett, voice of the Warhawks, but to get us started here this afternoon, here is Dr. Kerry Castile, our new president at ULM.
Thank you so much. This is my first official press conference. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here. So good afternoon, Warhawk family, our faculty, our staff, our students, our coaches, all of our fans. It is a great day to be a Warhawk. Today is a special day for us as we welcome with enthusiasm and we formally introduce Ford Pemberton as the new head coach of ULM baseball. Coach Pemberton. I had an opportunity to meet him briefly, and we could have sat there for hours. Your enthusiasm, Coach, is contagious. You and I share that same enthusiasm. He actually knew more about my interview than I did. So he's a student. He holds himself to the same standards as our students doing his research. He knew everything about ULM, including the history of the school. So he is prepared. I look forward to you bringing that same level of enthusiasm, passion, integrity, grit to ULM. I want to welcome his family. So, Coach, for Sarah, for John Ford, for Kate, for Elizabeth, we welcome you to the family. It's been a great honor. And I understand that you have some roots down here, right? So I want you to take everyone down I-20 and you bring them in and you fill those stands. So again, to our fans, our alumni, our supporters, it's an exciting time for our Warhawks. You're going to see me in the stands. You're going to see me often. But again, congratulations and thank you, go Warhawks.
Thank you, Dr. Castile, for being here today. And those of you who have not gotten to meet her before, I mean, she just exudes confidence, enthusiasm, and we are so blessed to have her lead our ULM Warhawk Nation. So thank you again for taking the time, because her schedule is, to say that she's drinking from a fire hose would probably be an understatement, but thank you. Yes, a very exciting day for all of ULM, for ULM athletics, and certainly for ULM baseball. So I want to talk a little bit, before I start talking directly about Ford, a little bit about this process. So a handful of you know this. I've had the good fortune to be an athletic director for over 13 years now at 3 different institutions. And the point that I'm going to illustrate with this is the passion and drive and opportunity is the word I really want to capture about baseball at ULM. And as I look across the crowd here, I know we've got quite a few folks. I'll take it. The only one that I'll recognize individually is the patriarch of ULM baseball, Coach Lou Sandomal. Coach, thank you for being here today. But many of you have the blood, sweat, and tears equity of what Warhawk Indian, previously baseball, is. And that really, really excites me about the future of our Warhawk baseball program under the leadership of Ford Pemberton. I can say again, unequivocally, 13 years plus as a athletic director, I got more emails, texts, phone calls, people indirectly, directly reaching out to me in this search than I have in every other search combined as an athletic director. And you know what that means to me? A couple of you even apologized about reaching out to me so many times. I said, please do not apologize about your passion for this baseball program, because that passion is what's going to drive us to have the opportunity to be the next Coastal Carolina, the next Murray State, the next UT San Antonio. And I don't just believe it can happen. After spending multiple hours with this guy right here and seeing the passion in this fan base, I know it's going to happen. And I am super, super excited about that. And not just the direction of our baseball program, but our entire university. And every day is a great day to be a Warhawk, but today is an exceptional day to be a Warhawk. Y'all aren't here to hear me talk about how passionate we are about the Warhawks. You're here to hear from Coach Ford Pemberton. Let me just give you a little bit of the background of this process. Yes, it was a little bit of a winding road. Yes, we had a lot of interest from a lot of varying folks, from current college head coaches, assistant coaches, folks in the professional ranks. I think I got a couple of resumes from folks who were 8th grade social studies teachers who said, hey, they coached their kids in Little League and they were ready to lead the Warhawks. All great. Again, I love people's passion. But at the end of the day, I have absolutely no doubt that we've got the right man to lead this program to success. And I look in this crowd and see the people here, and you know, this is no knock on what I've witnessed in the last 2.5 years. I say this unequivocally. Mike Federico is as fine a man as you will ever find. Have a ton of respect for the man. But there has not been a passion. There has not been sometimes this many people in the seats at Lou Santamar Field. So I'm excited about this, and I can't tell you how important it is for Coach Pemberton leading this program, not just about baseball wins, but about classroom wins, about our young men and our coaching staff getting involved in the community, reaching out, building equity in the community and in all of Northeast Louisiana. And so without further ado, I want to introduce the 13th head coach for ULM baseball, Coach Ford Pemberton.
Thank you so much.
Yes. I got to make sure I do everything I'm supposed to do.
Yeah,
So.
I think we know. Yeah.
It's a nice looking hat.
It is. I love it.
Awesome. Great.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much. Wow, this is exactly why ULM, this crowd here, is special. You know, a coach I recently worked with used to always say, there's no such thing as a perfect coach, and there's no such thing as a perfect job, but there is a such thing as a perfect fit, and I believe that's exactly what's happening today. Louisiana is home. More specifically, North Louisiana is home, and now Northeast Louisiana, from now until the rest of my life, holds a dear, special place in my heart, and I am honored to be the next head baseball coach at the University of Louisiana, Monroe. I'm fired up. Before we get started into this thing, you know, I didn't know Dr. Carrie Castile was going to speak first, but I got to brag on her. She is an absolute rock star, and she is the absolute perfect fit to be at the forefront of this university. When I accepted the job, I had the privilege, like she said, to talk about, and her energy is infectious, and she gets fired up, and her accent comes out, and I can tell that she loves this university, and she loves this state, and I got to meet her husband, and he's going to be a part of this thing as well, but she's going to fight for us, and she loves athletics, and we have a thing in common. We're starting work the same week, so I couldn't be more proud for her to be our leader. She's going to be incredible,
And thank you. Our talk the other day was incredible, so thank you so much for sitting down with me. You know, we have the same vision. I encourage any former player, student, current student, do your research, do your homework on Dr. Castile. It's impressive, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about after you read it. So thank you so much. Next, I would like to talk about John Hartwell. Our first talk, we talked for an hour and 2 minutes, and I think 30 minutes into that thing, we were both in our three-point stance, sharing, you know, exactly what we thought we wanted for this program and what we could do and the energy we could bring and some things that we can do and some ideas. And it was a great conversation. And just watching him conduct this process, I knew there was going to be a process before we connected, and that's fine. But once it got going, you talk about a first-class process in this interview. He has an uncanny ability to make it first class and at the same time let you relax and be yourself. And watching him talk to coaches on campus, you know, he has an uncanny ability to start the conversation with a friendly jab. You know, maybe we're from where they're from or the allegiance to the professional team they pull for, but what he doesn't know is I'm good at that too. And now that I got the job, I'm going to give it right back to him. But the energy that he's brought, you know, just kind of doing some research, the hires he's made, the relationships that I got to see when I was talking to other head coaches on this campus, the relationship they have, there's alignment amongst this thing, and it's going to be special. I got to meet Molly over at softball. I don't know if she's here. The energy is unmatched. She's incredible. And if you do your research on that program, you can see why it is and where it's going. My guy, Scotty Fletcher over there, who I knew before I got this job, infectious energy. I see why his girls play so hard for him. He's a stud of a human. And I want everyone to get behind this women's basketball program and be here for him. I'm going to be on the end of his bench. I told him I'd get a technical foul for the bench for him. But he's awesome. And then I got to meet with Coach Vincent, who's cut from a different cloth. And he is perfect for this university and perfect for the program. And you see the buy-in around the city and around Northeast Louisiana. And you see the changes taking place in the facility, and you know exactly why he's here. It's been a windy road, a different road that we both kind of took. And I think it's the perfect fit over there as well. I think the energy at this university has a chance to be at an all-time high, and I can't wait to be a part of it. Some other people I want to thank real quick. Bear with me. I got to thank someone that's a staple of this university, staple of this town, that I got to meet and got very close to when I feel like it was, you know, a 3-hour talk maybe. I feel like I've known him for a long time, and that's former athletic director Scott McDonald. He bleeds this place. He loves it. He wants what's best. And I really enjoyed our conversations, and thank you for being here. And next is Coach Lou Sandomal, who we talked about earlier. Incredible. Incredible how sharp he is. All the same people we knew from every corner of this state. Incredible stories. Sitting next to him, I told him I'm going to check up on him. He told me he goes to daily mass. I want to make sure he's in there. I'm going to be with him some mornings. But thank you so much, Coach, for being here, and thank you for our conversations. It was special to hear. Thank you so much. Next is what I think is a ULM legend. I won't tell him that, and I parked in his parking spot because he wasn't here today, but it's Tag Rome. I want to thank him for everything he's done. I have the privilege to know him as Coach Tag. I've known him all my life, you know, growing up in the same area. He was living there at the time. I'm the same age as his son. I have a lot to thank him for. I really do. I know that he cares about this place. It might be unparalleled. He cares about this place a lot. So thank you, Coach Tag. During the interview process, I got to meet with some support staff. And I can't, you know, I met with Carmen, our SWA. I met with Martin, who's in the sports information. The meetings were perfect. Everybody's aligned with what we're trying to do here. You know, it was a great energy, and I loved every bit of it. And they care about this place. And when I sat down with them and walked out of the room, I said, man, those are selling points for me when a recruit is here on campus. And so I think John has surrounded himself with some incredible people. I think the support staff and what we're going to do, everything matters. Every person matters. The way we speak about our university and the way we talk about our city and how we can get out into the community, everybody is on the same page. So we're moving in the right direction. I love this thing. I want to thank a couple coaches that I've worked for. Number one is Seth Thibodeau, who hired me at Nichols in 2016. And he didn't have to hire me. And I don't know if he wanted to, but he let me sit down at his desk And he gave me a shot, and that's all I was asking him for. And Tibb was hard on me, but he taught me how to be loyal. He taught me how to be a professional. He taught me how to talk. He taught me how to fundraise. He taught me how to carry myself into the office and with our team out, and he taught me everything, and I owe him a lot. And I watched him turn Nichols into a really, really good job. When he took over, it was 8-44, and he turned that place. He turfed the field. He built facilities. He's special. And whenever we left and he took an opportunity to go back home at UL Lafayette, I remember looking him into the eye and says, man, this roster is perfect to win a championship soon. The facilities are there. Whoever walks into this place is going to win a championship, and they won 2 of them. And from Nichols, I was hired by Matt Reiser at Southeastern Louisiana University, who's a winner. And he's building things at Memphis right now where we just spent 2 years. We started over. Not that anything was wrong, but we just started from the ground. And the greatest thing I can tell you about Matt Reiser is when he left Southeastern, he was talking to the players in the clubhouse, and he said, do not transfer from here. This is a championship club. The pieces are right. Whoever takes over, you're going to win a championship. And they won it this season. And I go back and I think about that conversation, and the loyalty that he showed to Southeastern was special. And I think his best quality is, and I'm stealing it from him, he finds the good in every single person that's involved in the program. He does. He finds the good from the top to the bottom, and I really admire that. So thank you, Matt Reiser. I want to introduce my family that's here. My kids, they got in last night at 12:30 from Memphis. My wife is a physical therapist. She's a workaholic. And I asked her if she could take off work, and she said, I'm going to take care of my patients, and then I'll be there. I said, yes, ma'am. And so they get out at the hotel last night, and John Ford gets out of the car, and where we're staying, there's 2 signs right in front that have our logo. The main logo and the secondary logo, and John Ford gets out and says, Dad, that star looks like the Dallas Cowboys logo. So he slept on the floor last night at the hotel, but he's learning. So John Ford's 5. My next daughter is Kate. She is 2 years old. She's crazy. All right, and then my baby girl is Elizabeth, who I don't know what month we're in. She was born right before the season started. So, we've kind of got our 2 daughters pegged. My wife says, Kate will make sure we're just in a nice nursing home. Elizabeth will take us in and take care of us. So there's a personality difference right there, but I want to thank them so much. They don't get to see their daddy all the time, but when I'm with them, I like to soak it up and cherish every moment. I don't have a lot of hobbies. I like to worry about our players and take care of our organization, and then when I'm not there, I'm spending time with our family. So thank them for being here. My sister is here, Brooke, her husband, Mark. My mother is here. Her name is Tanya, and I owe her everything. Thank you so much. My dad couldn't make it. He had an important business trip out of town. But I can assure you, when I told him and Mom at this exact same time, he told me he was proud of me, and that's all I needed to hear. And so I love you, Dad. I love you, Mom and Dad. Thank you so much. But last but not least, I mentioned her before, but Sarah, from living in a dorm room on Nicholls State University in a 1-bedroom apartment with no carpet and no dishwasher, to move into an even smaller apartment after that, to buying a house in Thibodaux, to buying a house in Hammond, to buying a house in Memphis. We had 3 kids in 3 different cities. She's been there along the way. And when times were tough, she reassured me, I have your back and you can do this. I know where you're going. That's what a coach wants in a wife. She's an incredible teammate. I love her so much. She's so professional. She's in a profession where she takes care of people, and that's her best quality. She keeps us alive. She makes sure that we're a strong Catholic family. She makes the rules. She's a baseball wife, and you're going to see her at the field, and I want you to talk to her and get to know her because she's going to invest as much energy in this place as I am. So thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for everything. I love you. If I forgot anyone, I apologize, but I'm ready to talk about what this thing is going to look like. Why ULM? What are we going to do? What's the direction? And so I want to talk about a couple core principles, and I'm going to get fired up while I'm doing it, but that's just me being myself. This thing is going to be built around player development. We're going to have coaches that are player-driven. It's going to be player development, player development, player development. You're going to hear me say that a lot. There's a plan, all right? Number 1 is going to be skill development. I'm going to surround our players with a staff that know exactly how to teach and know exactly how guys learn and know exactly what they need and to put in front of them for them to be successful. Players learn different. Some learn by having to watch video and then applying the movement. Some learn by just listening to you and can apply it right away. Some have to get in the cage and feel the swing or the movement you're talking about over and over and over. It's my job for our staff to be on the exact same page and understand the needs that every single player needs, and we will do that. We will meet about every single player weekly and make sure they're on the track to be successful and to help this program become a championship program. There's different parallels of player development, though. Number 2 is physicality. We're going to be strong. I'm going to hire a strength coach that is perfect for our players. We're going to have different workouts. We're going to be in the weight room a lot. If you look at every team that's played the last 2 weeks and the teams that are about to play in Omaha, they fill out the uniform. They look the right way. They move the right way. They play hard. They look really, really physical in a uniform. We're going to put a lot of energy and effort to how we lift, how we walk into the weight room, how we leave it. That place is going to be sacred for us, where we are. There is not many better setups in the country to have our weight room right there inside our facility, right behind our dugout, or right behind the clubhouse where they can walk right in there. And every time they walk past that door, I want them to know that they can be in there getting better and better and better. So physicality is a big part of this and what we want. And then last, the mental performance of player development. I want our guys to change the way they think, change the way we talk about this university, change the way we talk about teammates. All right, we're going to learn to love ULM. The ballpark is great. There's great bones. I think it's charming. It reminds me of an old Wrigley or a Fenway. It's special, and we're going to put our heads together, and we're going to create a family atmosphere where you want to be there, and you're coming, and we're going to pack that thing out. And the first pitch of the game, I want the smoke down the left field line from the grills to be crossing the field, and it's just going to be an energy that's unparalleled in the league, and it's going to be a great, great deal. But back to mental performance, I want our guys to know how to win different ball games. I want them to know how they need to think in order to win a 2-1 ball game on Friday night. How they need to think to have a nice comeback victory on Saturday. How they need to think to sweep, or how they need to think to avoid being swept. Championship teams win on Sunday. That's a day that we're going to take a lot of pride in and know how to win on Sunday. So another parallel of what this thing's going to look like, nothing's out of order. They're all at the top, is recruiting. We're going to get the players that we need in Louisiana. Everybody in this room knows what I'm talking about when we talk about a different edge on the player from Louisiana. It'll be an inside-out approach. Okay, we're going to take care of things in Monroe first, and then we'll work out from there. After Monroe, we're going to figure out what our regional niche is. And figure out, we have players that I met with that are from California that absolutely love it here. They absolutely love it. And we can find that niche of player wherever it is in the country, and they're the right fit for this program. We will bring them in and we will develop them. All right, we have to figure out the profile of player that we want. We're going to be on the same page as a staff. We know what we need for our identity, and the staff is being put in place, and it's going to be a special one. We're going to know the exact player, so when my coaching staff goes and recruits, they know right away that guy can play for us. He's one of us. I love his energy. I love the way he moves on the field. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be on the same page with what we want. We're going to understand how we recruit these days. These guys love graphics, videos. They love you being real with them. They want to know how you're going to help them achieve their dream and play professional baseball and win a championship. All right? And I want our coaching staff, when we're talking about recruiting, understanding today's landscape. You're constantly recruiting. Everywhere you are matters. How we talk to our players matters. Relationships that you develop in the recruiting process, these days, it matters. And it matters that it ends well if it doesn't go your way right then. All right, so that's just today's landscape of recruiting that we're all going to be on the same page with. Number 3 is we're going to do things the Warhawk way. We're going to have a standard, and our names are going to stay above that standard in everything that we do. I want to teach these guys different leadership methods. The best coach is the one that can step back and let his team lead each other. But sometimes you have to teach them up front, right, Scotty? You got to teach them up front and show them how to do it. And we're going to do that. I'm going to make sure our staff is all on board when we do that. I need everyone all in, from the top to the bottom. I think a really good strength coach and a really good support staff, a really good trainer. I met our trainer, and I walked past the training room in the facility, and it told me everything I need to know about him. There was nothing out of place. The carpet was vacuumed. Everything was put up. When I saw the room, I said, I know you're good. You can help us win a championship here. All right, so I commend him. I can't wait to work with Brandon. We have what we need. I want to be a gatherer of people for this staff. I want to gather everybody. And when we have a really good season or we win a championship, I want everyone that we gather to be able to say, we don't win that championship if I wouldn't have done my part. Because everyone plays a role from top to the bottom. I want to be a gatherer of people. Number 4 is going to be game strategy. We're going to be prepared. Our coaches are going to be prepared. We're going to learn how to talk, and it's a tough game. You got to figure out how to make it simple. The best coaches are problem solvers, and we're going to figure out how we need to win any type of game, a slugfest, a pitcher's duel, a sloppy game, a perfectly played game. We're going to figure out how to win those games in different manners. On the same page of all of this, all of that was mostly inside the lines. We're going to have academic excellence. Met with Carmen to show me around the academic center, our academic support staff. Miranda, she texted me this morning. She was fired up. I didn't get to meet her on my interview process, but I can't wait to meet her because she showed me through one text message that she's a championship person. And I can't wait to talk to her and meet her and be there for our players in that regard relative to academics. We're going to strive for a 3.3. College is changing. Kids are getting smarter, I guess. The 3.0 isn't good enough anymore. We're going to keep going and raise that thing. Our professors are going to know who our players are just by the way they carry themselves in the classroom. They're going to be attentive. They're going to introduce themselves, and they're going to have a relationship. And we're going to get those professors to the games. We're going to get them loving athletes, and it takes everybody. You're going to see our guys in the community. You're going to see me reaching out to alumni. I have talked to some fiery alumni that love this place. They love it. They care. They are all in on this process. And as I got to know them a little bit more, they had my back more and more and more. And I know there's people all across this state, but mainly North Louisiana, that love this university and they want to see it thrive. And in that interview process, going to dinner, I stopped by the country club the other day. There's a lot of people that are ready to get involved and pump energy in this and to support us. Not just baseball, but athletics in general. And I couldn't be more excited about that. I think this is a sacred job. These jobs are hard to get. There's only 300 in baseball in the country, and I'm going to treat it and give it everything I have. I think our stadium is great. A lot of that goes to our admin. A lot of it goes to Mike Federico, who has been first class in this entire process, and I know that he loves this university. And I look up to Fed. I've known Fed a long time as a young coach, just kind of looking up to him and how he treated people and how he coached and how he does things the right way. And so I want to thank Fed for everything. He left this place better than he found it. There's no question about it. I want to thank the high school coaches in the state, and some are here right now, some of the 2 best in North Louisiana history, Northwest Louisiana. Thank you for being here. My high school coach, Glenn Maynard's here, who I owe a lot to, who told me one day, you're going to be a really good coach. You're going to be a very average player at the next level, but you're going to be a really good coach. He told me that. And so he let me coach right away. He helped me get into this thing, and it's just been a journey. It's been a journey, and I think every day has led me to this podium right here, and I couldn't be more excited. I love the energy and what I got to see during this interview process, and it happened quick. It was a quick process, and that's okay. Maybe it was supposed to be that way. I want to thank 2 former players who I got to see their passion for this place, just by chance. Mike Harvey and Mike Thompson, thank you so much. For me, my style, I want to bring a lot of energy, but I want to take pride in delegating responsibility to our assistant coaches and making sure we're all on the same page. I want to take pride in having great feel of our clubhouse and understanding what our players need that day. If you're coaching out of a textbook and doing something this year just because you did it at the same time last year, you're missing out on the pulse of your team. And so I take great pride in myself and our staff understanding what the players need that day. Maybe they don't need to hear me at all. Maybe they need a day off. Maybe they need to be in the weight room. I'm going to give ULM everything I have. I'm going to cherish this baseball program. I want to be professional. I want our players to play with class. They're going to love it here. It's going to be a different energy. I want you in the ballpark. Please, we can fill that thing up. We can fill up down the lines. I want the grills going. I want left field packed. I want the deck out there to be full of students. And this is going to be special, and I cannot wait to get going. Thank you for being here. Go Warhawks. Yeah.
Hey, I probably shouldn't have signed up for closing remarks because that was pretty special right there. I know we got a row of our incoming players there. You guys ready to go? Y'all ready to go to the weight room right now? Ready to go to the cage, get a little BP? No, that's exciting, and hopefully you all got to see a snippet of the energy and the passion that we got to see during this interview process, and are really excited about the future of our baseball program. Hey, I know the folks in this room have been involved. We're going to ask you to be even more involved. When we have season ticket campaign, when we have a campaign to help Coach Pemberton get some of those extra things he needs, I need these folks in this room to step up. Many of you already have, but to help us, because there is a clear correlation between investment in and success output. But we are going to get this program right with the passion and effort and energy of y'all as fans, Ford and his coaching staff, our student athletes, our administration, and the entire Warhawk family. We can't wait. I will say this for the media that's here. I think, Martin, tell me if I'm saying this wrong. You guys can do individual interviews with Coach Pemberton after this is over. Everybody, thank y'all so much for being here. It's a great day to be a Warhawk. Have a tremendous afternoon. Go Warhawks. Thank you.